This episode introduced a very important book that we should all pick up for any friends or any people that we may know in life that might need this, and that is 100 Ways to Cure Being an Airhead. So this episode was very informative, and it was kind of world building and overall just setting the stage for what is to be Akame got killed. First of all, we're finding out that just like any other government in the world, or in any story for that matter, the government in this world is pretty much corrupt as well, and that's why the Night Raid was created. It's basically a resistance against that and trying to take them down and doing it in a way of like basically assassins for justice, so to speak. But at the same time, they don't look at themselves as righteous, so they're not completely like conceited like, we're doing this in the name of justice. They realize what their ultimate goal is, but ultimately they realize as well, we're murderers at the end of the day. We're killing people. Even if we have some sort of righteous goal, it's still murder. And that's the difference between them and somebody like Light from Death Note. Light thought, you know, what I'm doing is right. I'm killing for the name of justice. They realize it's fucked up killing regardless, but they have a goal ultimately. And we got introduced to the members of Night Raid for the most part. We already knew Leone, big titty blonde, and now I remember her name, so I could call her by her proper name this time. I believe her name is Mine as well, or Mine, the chick with the pink hair. Is it just me, or does she look just like the chick from High School of the Dead with the pink hair as well? I don't know if anybody remembers from High School of the Dead with the glasses. She reminds me just of her, except her hair is slightly darker and she's maybe a centimeter or two shorter. Then we have what could turn out to be probably one of the most epic gay guys in all of anime, and that's Bullet. He's pretty much straight up addressed as, hey, he's the gay dude. And he's like, hey, don't tell him that. He might get the wrong idea, but judging from him being a part of the Night Raid and everything, this dude might be on some epic shit. So anybody that is like, oh, he's gay, immediately like, no, fuck that shit. This dude might do some epic shit. And I'm looking forward to seeing him do some epic shit in the name of Night Raid. And we also have the pervert Drawback, and we have the leader as well. And Night Raid, it looks like a nice mix of different people, and I'm interested to see more about them and learn more about them. We already get a little glimpse into Akame's backstory, that pretty much she grew up as an assassin from a kid. They took her, the government, and turned her into an assassin in training, and pretty much she grew up as an assassin. But I believe they mentioned that her and her sister were taken from the government. What happened to her sister? Is her sister still alive? Did she die in the process? If she did die in the process, it would kind of add up to why Akame is very overprotected, because when Tatsumi shows up back from his mission, she strips him butt naked and looks to see if there's any damage, you know, because of the whole thing where one of her comrades passed from poisoning and he didn't want to mention it. So you can see that she definitely has a lot of battle scars, and she's very quiet, and that's how anybody would turn out, being raised as an assassin, to be quiet, stealth, and, you know, such of that nature. So you can see that her lifestyle definitely shaped who she is now. Although I think this episode was the first time we really got to see her smile. She smiled like a couple different times, and that's with Tatsumi. I don't know if it's that Tatsumi is bringing a different light to her life, or it's just that she smiles only occasionally, but you can definitely see that Tatsumi being around gives some sort of maybe positive energy towards her. And man, like, it could feel shonen sometimes. Like, you get the little elements of like him grieving over the past of his friends, and you know, that kind of reminds me, again, I keep on saying it, but it really reminds me of like Kakashi, Obito, and Rin, or something of that nature, with the three people, and you know, two of them are dead, his two comrades are dead, so it kind of reminds me of that. But then you get like elements that are just thrown in there, like this woman, after her husband was killed in an injustice way, she sells her body to pay the assassins to kill the people that killed her husband. It's like, you got some dark shit like that. She sold her body multiple fucking times just to get money for revenge. And it's like, we living in a fucked up world in this Akame got killed life. And I noticed as well that Tatsumi isn't the typical, oh, I'm a klutz, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. He's coming into the story already somewhat of, not a warrior, I wouldn't say, but he is somewhat skilled, because he took out that dude by himself pretty much, and he did it in a clean way. So with that little battle, it definitely displayed that Tatsumi isn't the typical shonen character that is coming in and knows nothing or knows barely anything. He took out one of the targets by himself, so that's saying something at the very least, that Tatsumi is somewhat at the level of like the people in Night Raid. And I guess in a weird way, it's kind of reminding me of like a better scenario of how like Lucy just joined Fairy Tail or something like that, except again, this is way darker, way different, but just the circumstances kind of remind me, except he's well equipped for the most part for Night Raid and to be an assassin. You can see that their goals kind of align the same, because he's ultimately into doing the right thing as well. He wants to help his village prosper, even if it means that they'll shun him. So they kind of work together. So overall, this episode definitely, again, some world building, some exposition as to the government and what's going on in in this world and some of these characters' goals and what they're trying to go after, and some pretty awesome action as well. Like, the only thing I will say is I don't know if it was for censoring purposes or just in general, they made a lot of these scenes like really dark, and I mean like color scheme wise. It was like I was struggling. I had to increase the brightness on my screen just to kind of tell what was going on, because it was a really dark looking episode. In particular, I'm referring to when Tatsumi was fighting against that one guy. It looked just really dark. And ultimately, for a second episode, it was pretty good. It was giving a lot, again, of exposition and stuff of that nature, a lot of information. So it was very informative with a little bit of action and characterization as well. So again, for the second episode, is really just building up this world, and I'm liking where it's going, and I'm liking that it's keeping certain elements of shonen into it, but it's still taking its dark twist and doing things in a dark way as well, so it's doing a nice mix. I give this one a 7 out of 10. Good episode for a second episode. Hopefully next week we continue to learn more about these characters, because I'm really intrigued. I want to see what makes Mine be such a bitch, or Mine, I don't know how to say her name, but, you know, the pink-haired chick. I want to see what makes her be such a bitch. What happened to Akame's sister? There's just a couple different questions that I already have regarding these characters. Let me know what you thought of the second episode of Akame. If you've seen it, did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Do you think that it was too dialogue heavy? It was definitely very dialogue heavy, so you have to read quite a bit of the characters talking, but as the story progresses, this is like, you know, a foundation, a stepping stone to getting to where the story will become epic and crazy later on. But right now, it's just really giving you the foundation. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, you can do so as well. That'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, Leone has big tits.